So starting a business is a lot of trial and error, and there's a lot of things I wish I'd known before starting a business. So I'm here to share 8 things I wish I'd known before starting a business so that you don't have to make the same mistakes I did. And just a reminder, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click on the little bell to be notified every time a new video goes live so that you never miss out on all the great information right over here. Hi everyone, I'm Kaz. I'm an elite digital marketing coach, and I'm here to help you find paying clients with your paid and organic social media. Okay, so let's get right into it. 8 things I wish I'd known before starting a business. Number 1, and I think with it, honestly, this is one of the most important. You have to really learn the skill to do what is necessary and what is needed, even if you don't feel like doing it. So there's going to be some days that you really want to do some tasks, some days you really don't. You may have tasks that just don't sound like a lot of fun. These may be accounting tasks, it might be content creation, all that stuff. But I have come to realize that it's the ability to get you to do things you don't necessarily want to do that's going to separate you from somebody that kind of can self-motivate. Now, I don't think this looks the same for everyone. I think everyone has a different way of getting there. Maybe for you, it's a really good self-care routine so that you're always in a really high vibe place. Maybe if you're a mom, then you have a routine where you're not with your kids all the time, you're able to have a break, step away, all that stuff. But whatever this looks like for you, you have to do what you can to self-motivate. Maybe it's watching videos, it's reading, it's meditating, it's journaling. Those are some ideas. Maybe it's none of that, and you can just like think about what you want to do and what you want to achieve, and that's going to get you there. Whatever it is, my advice is to find that hack as quick as possible and then deploy that as often as you need to, okay? So that's definitely one thing I wish I'd learned, because I think in the early stages I fell into the trap of, like, especially after I quit my corporate job, oh, you know, I don't really feel like it, and that is a horrible way to be. I'm not advocating that you should just push up a hill and do things that you hate doing, but it cannot be like that all the time. There's a lot of really successful people that do a lot of stuff they don't really feel like or want to do, but they know that doing it is going to get them there. So whatever you have to do, I highly recommend you do that. Okay, number 2, this one's a little bit controversial. I think we are seeing a moving away from niching. So the second thing I wish I knew is don't worry about niching. I spent a lot of time going backwards and forwards and thinking, I'll do this niche, I'll do that niche, I'll focus on this, I'll focus on that. It's a big waste of time. I like to think now as an umbrella. So maybe you are interested in health and fitness, and you offer not just workouts, but you offer maybe some meal plans, supplement advice. I like to think instead of niches, think of umbrellas. So what's your industry and what can you offer as a result? So something that has come quite evident to me in 2021, there were the iOS 14 changes, and they really did impact Facebook ads. Around that time I decided to, like, I'm gonna be the ads girl, I'm gonna be known for ads. And with the current economic climate the way it is, a lot of people scaled back from ads. So for small businesses, the ones I work with, there wasn't a higher demand. Now, that's a problem when you're in a niche and then the demand goes away. You know, I saw a lot of people niche down into platforms. Oh, I'm the Instagram expert, I'm the Facebook expert, I'm the Clubhouse expert. But these platforms don't stay consistent forever. You are better off social media, as I have come to be and do, marketing, and then you have different branches and specializations within it. Yes, it's great to be known as the go-to person until no one needs that go-to person. Now, if this has happened to you, it's not the end of the world. You can, you know, if you're like, I'm a health and fitness person, now I want to be a realtor, that is quite a dramatic shift. But if you're a health and fitness person, you're a trainer, or like maybe a Peloton expert, now you're a no equipment expert, right? Like, I think you have to keep in mind the umbrella, but don't worry about the niche so much. So number 3 of things I wish I had known before starting a business is pick your systems and stick to them. Your business is not doing badly because you picked MailChimp over ConvertKit. Your deciding and questioning that is what's keeping you from moving. Because whenever you change your systems, it takes a lot of time to sort everything out around that. So let's say, so this happened to me, and I was like, I'm gonna have everything on my website. I believed in the pixels, retargeting, all that. And I went out, I got a funnel builder called Cashflow. I was gonna have it all set up on there. But once I set it up, it became very apparent that it wasn't very good. And I spent a lot of time moving things around and now like leaving there. And then also my website got hacked, and not really hacked, but like it had a lot of charges on it because people had got like stolen data and they were trying to like run it through my system to see what it could charge. So that was a big old mess, and it just made me think, you know what, I'm not, my specialty and my zone of genius is not website security. I have a fairly secure site, we're good, but when it comes to processing, I want to put that in the hands of the professional. So that's when I moved to Thrivecart, which is an incredible offer, an incredible system. You pay and then that's it, you don't have recurring charges. I really liked that, so I moved to that, and then just kind of that's where places transacted. For now, I don't want anything to do with hosting that on my website. I think you do your research, you pick a solution, and that's it. Decision done. Do not get phased, do not listen, do not hear like, see the ads and go, oh, but this and that is better, and oh, Flowdesk and all that, because there will always be a new system. But the time it takes to move, you have to move, you know, if you're moving learning management systems, LMS, so you know, maybe you were on Thrivecart and then but you saw that Thinkific was really good, or Kajabi, or all these, the time it takes for you to move your thing is not really worth it in my mind. So whatever you decide, pick your system and have it. And that's why I think when you make the decision on what systems and emails and all that to choose, it's good to have a long-term view so that you don't have to encounter or do this. So that's definitely something I wish I'd have known, because I would have saved myself a lot of time moving things around and would have just been a lot easier. Okay, so number 4 on the subject of systems, I think you should prioritize money generating activities for sure, but you need to, highest priority, especially if you're trying to set this up while you're working a corporate job, you need a system that, even if you do nothing, will bring leads to you. You need a funnel, a system, a way that is not, where possible, dictated by technology, social media, whatnot, that will just bring leads to you. Whether that's a YouTube channel and you post regularly and then people come in and they come through a funnel and you've worked out the funnel, this has to be your biggest priority, because life's going to happen, and that's kind of what happened to me. In 2019 we decided to expand our family, and we were trying, and in January of 2019 I had a miscarriage and I knocked the wind out of my sails, and I didn't really have the energy or wherewithal to be as gung-ho in business as I was. We kept trying. We did conceive my daughter in April, May of 2019, so we had a happy ending to our story, but the fact of the matter is life happens. You need that backup, and you need to know that even if the world falls down, as it kind of did in 2020 to all of us, you will be fine and you will be safe. It has to be. So for making money, managing the money has to be a top priority. Now, whatever system that looks like for you, fine, but I would encourage you to do a system where it doesn't need you to be present or post or show up or anything. It needs to be a system that just operates without you. So that would be a big focus, and I wish I'd have spent more time when I had the time creating that, because I think that would have really carried me through the tougher times. Number 5, you need to have a really good understanding, management of your cash flow. You need to always have this number. You need to be in your accounts. People say, oh, outsource bookkeeping. Fine, but make sure whatever that looks like, they're telling you what's going on. You need to understand where the money's going. Are you happy where the money's going? How much are you spending? That really needs to be top of mind. If you're like, well, I'm not a numbers person, I got news for you. You want to have a business, you're going to have to in some capacity be a numbers person, and also look at that because that might be a mindset thing. You might be like, oh, I'm not a numbers person, but honestly you could be. I used to say that. I was in a class at school where the maximum, even if I got 100%, they had put me in England, they put you in sets for your ability. So even if I got 100%, I was only ever going to get a B on my GCSE, which I did. But it wasn't until I learned how to deal blackjack when I went to join the cruise ships that I became better at maths. Now the reality of that is you just learn to add 2 numbers. But you memorize it. So 9, 2 is 11, 4, 9, 13, 5, 6 is, no, I can't even. 5, 6 is 11. You just learn these 2, but this really helps you in math. You also learn your 35 times table, because if you do roulette you need to know that, and your 17 times table. But anyway, so in doing this I became good at math. I wasn't really, but I'm just saying it could be a mindset shift. If you've been brought up to think I'm not good at math, you might be. You just may need to flex that muscle somewhere else. Number 6, be strategic about your investments. There are a lot of people that want to sell you a lot of things. Some are going to be perfect for your business, some not, but whatever it is, don't buy a course and just have it sit there. Don't hire a coach without a really clear intent. Don't be like, oh, well, you know, my business sucks, I need a business coach. No, like, we need to understand what we need the business coach for. Is it you need them to help you scale? Is it need you to put in systems? Is it that you just hate marketing and you suck at it and you need help with that? You need to have a really clear reason for wanting to invest and wanting to make the next investment. If you're going to invest in something like a course, which means you have to do the work, you need to allocate and sort everything out for that. I, in 2020, maybe 2019, bought Impacting Millions, which is a PR program. I don't think it's offered now. And I don't think I was in a good place to buy that because I don't think things were like properly set up. So I wanted, you know, I like things a certain way, and I think when you do things like PR, a lot of people are gonna come and find you and want to learn more, and I think that has to be really set up and really intentional, and you have to have a good funnel so that when people hear about you, it will convert and it will do the things you want to do. So I would say set all that up, which is an earlier point, and then worry about investing in things. Number 7, it's the thing no one wants to hear, but consistency really is key. And I think consistency beats out talent in some ways. In some funny ways, it kind of beats out hard work. It beats like the I want to say goodness of work, but the quality of work. You do kind of work, but more consistently. That's way better than doing like amazing work once in a month. It just is. And it's not like if you think about social media, you don't put out content and then are like, oh, we'll just carry on with this. You learn from it, but it's only from the doing that you learn. If you want more content about consistency, definitely been a mountain that I've been climbing recently. Let me know in the comments below and I can share what I've learned. The final point in the 8 things I wish I'd known before starting a business is that speed is important. A bit like consistency in some ways. How quick you take the thing and you do the thing, I think is really key. There's no good having the advice and then just sitting on it. If you read a book recently and you haven't actioned on it, you need to action on it. It's no good just consuming information but not doing things. Especially in this world, if you're primarily an online business owner, things move really fast. If you don't hop on them quick, you will get left behind and you will become irrelevant. And I hate to just be that blunt about it, but that's the truth. So if you have an idea, give yourself like 30 to 90 days, depending on what you've got going on, to action and get it done. If you're not action and get it done within the 90 days, you need to move on to the next thing. That's what I would say. So I want to know, what are the things you wish you'd have known before starting a business? Leave your details in the comments below. Now, one thing I know is that you have to always be marketing your business, and that can seem really, really overwhelming. So what I highly recommend you do is click the link below to get my free marketing checklist. This is going to help you a lot with your marketing. I give you daily, weekly, and monthly tasks. So just download it. You're going to check the boxes. You can customize it if you want to do one thing but you don't want to do the other. Totally cool. And then it's going to be your framework for marketing your whole business. Honestly, it's been such a game changer for me just to lay this out. I know it will be a game changer for you. Okay, so those are the 8 things I wish I'd known before starting a business. I really appreciate you watching this video and for being a part of this community. I would love it so much if you would subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video.